Cool. Well, that's awesome because that was going to be my first thing. One of my first things when it comes to running ads is you can run ads without any reviews, but if you have one review that people can go read, that's a positive one. That I mean, that's very, very helpful to have even just at least one.
Yeah, yeah,
Because if you have no reviews and you're running ads to try and get people to your page, they might click in and look at your page, but then people rely so heavily on reviews that they'll just see it as like, I don't know, because no one's reviewed it yet. So one thing that's nice about your ad, like running ads, is we'll throw in a bunch of keywords, run the ads, and then you'll pretty clearly see which keywords work and which ones don't. And then from there, you can start to use that to help even optimize your listing. So like you throw in some keywords, run some ads, the ones that you get sales from, and especially the ones you profitably get sales from, then those are good ones to go put in your title and in your bullets and in your description, stuff like that.
My question to you, let's say we start running this ad today, right? And then am I gonna know, okay, because of deep sleep, I got a sale. Is it gonna show me that, or?
Yeah, it'll show you that.
Okay, where does it show me that? It just like it pops up somewhere, or I need to go to a report about it?
No, it'll show you. So go back up. So just go into like your campaign's dashboard. Right there, the orders column. So see right underneath. Go just down a little bit. Now to your right. Yep.
Yeah.
So in that column. Okay. Oh, sorry. So here, click into the these all? Yeah. Click into the campaign that spent $18. So right here, it'll tell you in the orders column how many orders came from which keywords.
So it's 0 right now, basically.
Right, yeah, you haven't made any orders through these ads. So click on total targets where it says 88. Yeah, click on the 88. And this should give us the list of the keywords that you threw in there. Yeah. So if you made any sales through any of these keywords, you'd see over here in the orders column how many orders came through that keyword that's on that row.
But these are all the same keywords anyway, so I don't even know why I did this.
Well, the reason you did that is because you threw in one yeah, they're the same keywords, but you set them as different match types. So one of them is exact, one of them is phrase, one of them is broad, and we can talk about what kind of each of those are. But this is where you'd see how many orders. Go ahead.
Okay, then if I would have if somebody would have searched for column 8 and bought 3, they would have said 3 in the orders basically.
Yep. Exactly.
Okay, perfect. Got it. That's nice. Oh, no wonder this didn't work. It's a waste of money.
A big part of that could be because you didn't have reviews. Also, the images will help a lot once you have more images on there, because it looks just a little with just the 3 you have. It looks a little bit empty, which isn't good. You don't want people to look at your listing and have it feel empty. You want it to have it feel like really polished, really complete, a lot of information about your product. And so that'll help a lot too. And then you have that review on there also, which is super helpful.
Yeah, but I think none of this keywords really apply to me. Column 8 or.
Yeah, I think they're way too broad, right? Someone could search Calm-Aid and maybe they're looking for a sleeping pill, but Calm-Aid could mean a whole bunch of different things. Like that could mean a fidget toy for a little baby or something like that, you know? So let me ask you this: how much? Well, let me first explain how I look at going about running ads, and then my follow-up question will be, what kind of a budget do you have to actually run the ads? So one thing what you're really trying to do when you run ads is you don't know anything at all from the beginning. You just have to go in blind, and so you throw a bunch of keywords in, let them run. You got to spend money to do that. And then what you're really doing that for is you're buying data. You're figuring out, you're buying which keywords work well for your product and your listing, which ones convert profitably. And you can only do that by spending the money, so you just have to take that risk. And so, and you can be less aggressive or more aggressive with this. At this point, I'm pretty aggressive when I start running a campaign, but that's also based on the fact that I do research to find products with high demand, low competition, which makes it a little easier to be aggressive. So like what I basically do is I go do a bunch of keyword research, get big lists of keywords, throw them all in, knowing full well I'm going to lose money on a bunch of them, but then I'm going to find ones that convert profitably or even at a little better, or maybe even at break even. We can talk about that strategy too. But and then I find those keywords and then leave those running and optimize with those keywords. And the idea is that those keywords over the next days, weeks, months will make me, now that I've found the profitable ones, will make me a lot more money than I just lost on all the other ones that I had to lose money on to find the good ones. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. So, but the question would be, what is how much money is? I mean, obviously, the more you spend, I guess, better. But I mean, what is aggressive for you? For example, daily budget wise. I mean, I don't think there's a right number to
No,
it. But
no,
I mean,
there's
roughly.
not. There's not. And truthfully, I'm just trying to come up with with what's a good strategy for you, because the strategy that I use again goes back to finding a high demand, low competition product. And so I know that when I start running ads, I'm going to make sales. And what happens is, as long as you start to make sales, that revenue adds up and sits inside your Seller Central account. And then Seller Central, you can actually set it so that it deducts your ad spend from your revenue. So if you find a high demand, low comp product and you build your listing well, start to run the ads, you'll for sure get sales, and hopefully you make enough revenue where when Amazon goes to subtract your ad spend from that revenue, you've got enough money sitting there. And so it never actually hits your credit card or debit card or anything like that, like no cash out of pocket. In this case, you might, and so when I do that, that's why I say like I'm aggressive, because I know I'm going to get sales. So I'm not super worried about losing $3,000 out of my actual pocket when it comes to running ads. In this case, it's much more competitive, and you don't necessarily have your listing built up yet, and so you may lose a bit more than I anticipate with the strategy that I just laid out, like how I do it myself. So
Yeah.
I would say,
I mean, in normal circumstances, I would spend more money, but right now I don't have a school.
Sure, yeah, no, I understand. So I would say
I'm being a little bit more conservative, obviously.
Yeah, and you can be really as conservative as you want. I'd say if you have, I don't know, few hundred, $500 to really run some tests.
So let's put $20 budget that will come out to $600 a month. Would that buy us some sort of a data?
Yeah, but I wouldn't look at it as running this for a month. Like, you can literally just run this for the next maybe 7 days, and you'll have done enough testing to know if these keywords, if you can find any keywords that convert for you or not.
Oh, okay. So let's spend $600 next 1 week, I guess.
Sure. Yeah, that would be good. So then I would, but we want, before we actually,
$100 a day.
Yeah, but I'd say before we start setting budgets, we'd want to go do some keyword research. That's the very first thing, is keyword research, compile your list of keywords, and then let's start to go plug them in and give them budgets. So that one yesterday, like that we set up, we could use that, but I'd say let's just scrap that one for now. And actually, because I was trying to show you and help you set it up fairly quickly, but now that we have more time, I say let's actually do a little bit of keyword research, find keywords, and then go in and set up the campaigns. Let's see. Let me read the title here. Natural sleep aid for adults, insomnia relief sleep supplement with valerian root, melatonin, chamomile, L-theanine, and natural calm magnesium. Okay, so I would try and do your keyword research, try and come up with kind of two types of groups of keywords. So one group being more of the general broad type of keywords, which is going to be sleep aid for adults, sleeping pills for adults, like kind of broad ones. And then I kind of have a second group that goes much more specific, like natural calm magnesium, like if you look down there, a natural where it's maybe talking about the ingredients of the supplement, so that if people, because people will kind of search both ways. Some people will search, let's just see what kind of sleeping aids exist, and that's where it's really going to be the most competitive. And then some people will search already knowing what kind of ingredients and what kind of sleeping aids they're looking for. And so if we can find some searches based around some keywords based around the ingredients and the actual type of sleeping aid that yours is, I think those would be two groups to test. Because and for this product, even the ingredient ones, keywords will likely be still pretty competitive, but they should be less competitive than just the really broad sleep aid for adult type keywords. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. So, and what I would do is pull up like a Google sheet or an Excel sheet, and as you learn how to do this more, you'll come up with kind of your own system for keeping track or whatever. But I'll just kind of give a basic one here to help us a little bit. So for one column, just let's call it general or broad. Let's just call it general keywords, because if we use the word broad, I don't want that to be confused with the match phrase types of broad, phrase, and exact, because that's not really what I'm talking about right now when I say broad. And then say like ingredient keywords. And then let's make a third column that is competitor keywords. That's another really good thing to do, is find out, we'll go find some competitors that are selling very similar product to yours, and then we'll see what keywords they're ranking for and use those. Yeah, so let's just go now to, let's use the search bar. I like to use the search bar just because that's Amazon itself telling you, here's some popular ones based off of whatever characters you put in. And then we'll go start to use Cerebro. Yeah, so I'd grab natural sleep aids for adults. I just extra strength. Any of those that make sense, let's add those to our general keyword list. And this is the most annoying way to do this, because you gotta retype it and get it to pull up the list again each time. But after we do this for a second, we'll use Cerebro, and it'll be a lot easier to just copy paste.
That's just the aid for adults, extra strength.
And then real fast, back on the Excel, not to pick at your spelling here, but the reason why it matters is because we're just going to want to copy and paste this and plug it in. And if we mess up the spelling, it can mess up the ad. So just make sure strength is NTGTH.
And what else? Sleeping in without melatonin. But even though that doesn't require, we have melatonin, should we use this or no?
No, don't use that one. You do have melatonin in it, right? Yeah, so don't use that. Don't use that one. Just use ones that are relevant to your product. And they are just straight pills, right? They're not chewable or gummy or anything like that.
It's a string.
And now switch it up and do like sleeping pills. So that's pulling up just like ingredient ones already. So if any of these work for your ingredients, we could use those.
50 milligram is a big search though. 50 milligram comes from everywhere.
And then you can also type sleeping pills melatonin. That was another one we saw. Sleeping pills natural. Maybe type in pills for, and then see what comes up.
Pills for sleeping.
Yeah, pills for sleeping. Pills for sleep strong.
Anxiety.
No. I think when people search for pills for anxiety, they're probably searching for like daytime pills for anxiety. So I'd probably not. I mean, you could test it, right? That's what's kind of cool about running these campaigns, is you can test that keyword and see if it does work.
Pills for sleeping strong.
Yeah.
Sleep Strong.
Yeah, use that
Pills
one.
for sleep strong. Pills for sleep strong.
Okay, and if you want, you can continue doing searches like this for these, but just because I mean it's pretty straightforward at this point. If you want to come do this more, you can and keep adding to that list. But
Oh yeah, that's cool.
let's move on to some different ones just so we can, just because it'll be more helpful for you. So let's see. Can we? Sorry. Can we look at your listing again? And I want to just get an idea for what your ingredients are one more time. It was melatonin, L-theanine, valerian root, chamomile. Yeah, so leave this page open so we can reference back to it. And then let's open up, that's on another Amazon page. Let's run some searches.
Chamomile capsules.
Yep, so these let's put under that ingredients section. And yeah, chamomile capsules. Yeah, chamomile capsules sleep could work.
Capsule sleep. Essential supplements.
Chamomile pills. Put that one in. Then maybe type in sleep. See if, yeah, sleep like aid. Chamomile sleep aid.
Sleep supplements.
Yep, chamomile sleep supplement. One more P there in supplement.
Sleep aid for babies. You see, for babies. Babies.
Yeah, I wouldn't use that one because it's just for adults. But yeah, man, I mean, these parents are just trying to knock their kids out, huh?
That's crazy. Look at the searches. How much search they have. It's like crazy amount. All right,
let's throw in a different ingredient now and see what we get.
Valerian root pills. Root pills.
And then let's add sleep to it. In the search.
Huh? Oh.
In the search, yeah. Sorry.
Sleep support. Valerian root sleep support.
Valerian root sleeping. To the search bar now again. Let's throw in another ingredient. Yeah, so
sleep aid.
Yeah, sleep aid. And then make sure it's an L instead of a T at the front. And then another one was just L-theanine sleep. And then I think the last one was magnesium. So let's type in magnesium sleep in the search bar. Okay, so let's move away from the search bar now. But that's, you know, the reason you can skip that step and go just to like use Helium 10 and have it pull up a bunch of keywords for you. I just like to use the search bar, even though it's a bit more time consuming, because that's Amazon itself saying, here's what I'm suggesting that's the most popular ones based on what letters you've already put in there. So I like to do that, even though it's a little bit slower, but I do like to do that just because it's straight on Amazon research. So now let's do this. Let's type in, let's find a product that's doing really well, that's very related to yours. Really sourced ingredients, melatonin, valerian root, chamomile. Okay, so just copy that ASIN. Okay, then let's go to Cerebro. Throw it in there. Click on exact ASIN match. Get keywords. That's fine. New search. Is there there should be an export option if you scroll up a little bit. Trying to remember. Yeah, there at the top right. Yep.
Export the Excel.
Yeah, sure. Okay, let's see how many rows does it give us here? Like a bunch of thousands. Yeah. Okay, scroll over. Let's look at all the way at the right, the far right column, where it's showing the organic rank, and scroll down until it's no longer ones. Okay, so right there it already switched to twos. Okay, so I would so there's a ton in here, and we're not going to put the ad spend behind it to be able to test them all. So what I would do is I'd go back over to the left column, and then I'd just this is a little bit I'll scroll all the way up. So this will be a little bit manual, but I would go in and delete any that are so like these are I mean natural sleep aids. We have that one already, so you could delete that one. But best sleeping pills, does Ambien sleeping pills apply?
No, Ambien is I think that's a brand, no?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Ambien is a sleeping, like a brand, big brand.
Okay, yeah. So any here that have, well, you still could target brands. That's not a terrible idea, but let's just for now, any ones that have brands in them, delete those. Like insomnia medicine, patates para dormir if you want to target Spanish keywords, but maybe I don't know, maybe probably don't want to.
Man, there's a lot of Latinos here.
Yeah, maybe you do.
Yeah.
But like Luna sleep aid, I would delete that. Sleep aid Luna, I would delete that. You could also if you know how to like search out and delete according to a keyword, you could do that. But like these ones will probably be good: melatonin, valerian root, melatonin, valerian, best melatonin for sleep. Again, all this is just going to come down to testing. So I'm just trying to, because there are some in here that really just might not make sense for you. So you kind of just want to scan and get rid of those ones. But the rest of them, you're just going to want to kind of test. So, and maybe just for now, let's grab the first 20 or 30 on this list and go plug those in. But so when I talk about me being very aggressive when I run mine, like I'll come in here and I'll delete the ones that don't make sense, but I'll grab hundreds of keywords and go plug them in.
Yeah.
But if you want to just, your first time doing it and you don't want to spend a whole lot, you just kind of want to see how it goes. Maybe we don't want to grab hundreds. Let's just grab that. So yeah, just copy those, and then let's just throw those into the other list we were working on.
In the general, right?
No, let's go competitive keywords, because we ran a search on one of the competitors to find which keywords they're ranked for. So let's go back into Helium 10. I'll just show you, I think, one other way that might be good to know here. Magnet 2. If you click that. So you can also use this one, and you can just type in any keyword you want. So if you typed in really anything, sleep aid or valerian sleep aid, then it'll just give you a bunch of other keywords based off of that keyword. And so between the Amazon search bar, between Cerebro for looking up competitors' keywords, and then using Magnet 2 to find any other keywords, like you can find tons and tons, like literally thousands and thousands and thousands of keywords.
You go through all of them and then find the best one for you, whatever it is.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, in an aggressive way, I would just grab as many as I can, go throw them in there, and then get the data back and figure stuff out from there. But like, see, like this brought up depression pills, which isn't really going to make sense for you, so you still got to do some sorting. But if you plugged in a more specific keyword, like valerian sleeping pill, and click get keywords, it should give you keywords that are more related. Yeah, so like herbal sleep aids, best sleep aid, or best over the counter. So these are just more keywords. And then one thing that's kind of cool to look at, the CPR 8-day giveaways. And I'm not saying you necessarily have to do this or that this is 100% accurate, but it kind of gives you an idea for if you wanted to rank for that keyword, like at the top, you need to be making 8 sales a day through that keyword. And so that's what this is saying. If you wanted to do giveaways, which I don't recommend giveaways, but giveaways is where like you give away your product, someone goes and searches for the keyword and buys it through that keyword kind of a thing. And so that would need to happen 8 times a day for you to rank for best over-the-counter sleep aid. So it's a way of kind of seeing how competitive or not a keyword is. And then also it still shows you the search volume.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. But again, I mean, there's just tons and tons of ways to find keywords. And because yours is such a huge category and so competitive, there's way, way, way more keywords. If you find a very niche, high demand, low competition product, you can still find a bunch of keywords, but we could honestly find limitless keywords with around sleep aid pills, right? There's just so many different keywords.
This is crazy.
There's so many, and it's a little bit harder that way, and it just requires maybe more testing to figure out which are the actual ones and more research. Let's set up some campaigns here. Yeah, sponsored products. So name this one. So those 3 columns we created, those are 3 different campaigns we're going to create.
Oh wow.
So you could kind of name them by that. And the reason that I separated those 3 is so that we can test, like, we know these keywords came from the search bar. We know these keywords came from the competitor search that we did, and then we know these keywords came from the search bar, but were the ingredient searches. So then we can kind of see if we were on to something as far as where we were finding our keywords, if one of these campaigns performs better than the other. And that we may not, you may not actually see that one really performs better than the other, but we at least kind of set up a few categories kind of for ourselves.
So it is the SPM portfolio. Do I need to put something down?
No, you don't need to. If you're creating a ton of campaigns, then you can group all your different campaigns by certain portfolios just to help you stay more organized, but it's not anything you have to do.
So let's run it till 29.
Sure.
And then daily budget $100.
So you wanted to do like 500 or 600. So divided by 3 is 200, and then 200 divided by 7 is, I gotta do that one on my calculator. So like $25 to $30 a day, $28 a day.
Put 28. Manual targeting.
Yep.
And fixed bids.
I should maybe make it $20 a day, because I do want to set up an auto campaign with you.
Okay.
And I'll explain that after we get these set up. So manual targeting.
So auto.
I just do, let's see. I mean, fixed. I do fixed or dynamic for now, since you're trying to be conservative with your money. Yeah, just do fixed bids for now. Actually, you know what? I do. So just real quick, dynamic bids. If you read it, says will lower your bids in real time when your ad may be less likely to convert to a sell. So I'd probably use that just because you're trying to be conservative. Sometimes I fear that Amazon, messes with that when maybe it's not the right time to or whatever, but yeah.
So you would say down only?
Yeah, because if you do up, then Amazon's likely to spend a lot more of your money, so I'd just do down only for now. Keyword targeting is what we want. And then go enter list. And do you know the difference between broad, phrase, and exact?
I'm a broad is general. It takes everything like around the keyword. Phrase is like what we put. But exact, I don't know. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much it. If you hover over the I, it'll break it down a little more, but that's pretty much it. Broad is like it'll look at your keyword and it can use other keywords that are closely related, even if it's not the same keyword. Phrase is where it looks at your keyword phrase and it looks at the keyword that you put in, and within different searches that are phrase searches, meaning they have multiple words, your keyword has to be inside of there. And then exact just means that the search has to be exactly the keyword or keyword phrase that you've inputted. So in my aggressive methods, I actually will make like 3 different campaigns where it's a broad, a phrase, and exact, and I see how they like which ones perform better. But in this case, let's just do phrase. And then once you find some phrase ones that work well, then you might want to go plug those in as exact ones. But let's just do phrase for now. Keep it a little bit simple. And if you're going to test just one out of the 3, I think phrase is usually better. So then let's just go to the Excel sheet, copy paste the column.
All of them?
Yeah, from the general keywords. So that'll be 12 different keywords. And then for click suggested bid first. And do custom bid. And then set it to $2. Because I think these are just going to be more expensive keywords, unfortunately. Then now click add keywords. And what that does is it set every keyword to $2. See how it did that? So that might even be a little bit high. Maybe you could change them to, but I don't know. I'd probably kind of leave it there.
Leave it there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then this one's good to go. So if you want to run it right now, just click. What is it? Launch? Is that what it says? Okay, that one's running. So same thing now, but just new campaign, and we'll copy and paste the ingredient keyword list that we came up with.
I see that you have a dog, huh?
Yeah.
I have 3.
You have 3? That's cool. I've wanted to get another. Too many?
Man, I'm dying, man. It's very hard. With 3, man, I pick up so much shit every day.
I bet that's the case. That's probably the biggest downside to a lot of them, right? Is there's so much of that.
Oh my god.
Are they big dogs too?
I have 1 German Shepherd. I have 2 little stupid ones.
It's good that they have each other, though. I know I've wanted to get one more to have, so this guy could have another dog to play with, because he loves other dogs, man.
And it makes a huge difference. It makes a huge difference. That's why we bought it.
Yeah.
It was automatic targeting or manual targeting?
Manual. And then set the daily budget to 20. Because I remember I want to set up some auto campaigns, and I'll explain why.
And then dynamic bid down only.
Did you see my dog in one of my videos? Just in the background or something?
I see everything in that room already.
Yeah.
I analyze your whiteboard and everything.
That's how it goes.
So what does this guy has in the? I said, what does this guy has in the whiteboard? I want to see what's he doing there. Keyword targeting.
I gotta make. At some point, I'll make like a cool studio, but for now, I'm just right here in my little office space.
Whatever works, and the keywords, and then
enter list.
Where's the enter list?
Right above custom bid, yeah. And then just copy and paste the. Yep, those ones.
I'll put $2. Add keywords.
And then you're good to launch. And the reason why you want to run auto campaigns, and what auto is, you're not going to input any keywords. You're not going to tell Amazon what keywords to target. An automatic campaign is where you just say, hey, Amazon, here's my product. Go try and find keywords that you can get sales for this product. And so Amazon itself is going to do that keyword research. And what's good about that, like oftentimes Amazon doesn't do a very good job at that, and your automatic campaigns may not be very profitable. You might even lose a little bit of money on them. But what happens is Amazon creates a keyword research report after you've ran an auto campaign for a little bit, and you can go into that report and it'll give you another really good list, like a really, really good list of exact search terms that people are typing in looking for your kind of product. So it's another way to find keywords, but you're letting Amazon do it. that make sense? And so I can on our
Yeah, 100%.
on our next call after this one's been running, I can go in and show you how to actually pull that report and how to use it and stuff. But
Exactly. So
I'd
we're gonna
set
have a report to everything. So it will be
yep
perfect.
yep. So I'd set it to just $10 though, or no, daily budget if you're gonna run this for a week. Yeah, if you're running this for a week, I'd say even maybe give it just give it $5 to $10 a day, or like yeah, something like that. Yeah, just leave it as automatic targeting. I'd go fixed bids, and it's suggesting 130. So I'd maybe give it like up to 2, but maybe go 1.7, something like that. And then that just save as draft. One really important tip here. I would go in, and once you start running these, every day I would go in and look at the specific keywords. Remember how I told you to click into the campaign and then click in to find the keyword list? Go in there and look at how much it's spent already for each keyword. Because what Amazon does, and I hate that it does this, but it does it, is sometimes it'll take your budget and it'll just keep giving it to the same keyword, even if that keyword's not profitable. So what I do is I go in every day, especially when I'm setting up new campaigns. I go in every day and look, and if I can see that it's given enough money to a keyword where it should have made a sale but it didn't, then you want to turn off just that keyword, not the campaign, but just the keyword. So then it forces Amazon to distribute your budget to other keywords. It should evenly divide it, but I've just seen it way too many times where it doesn't. It'll just for some reason keep feeding it to the same keyword, even if that keyword's not converting. So I just go in and look at your keywords every day, and if you can see that, all right, too much has already been spent on this keyword and it hasn't converted into a sale, just turn that off so then Amazon can just to help Amazon test the rest of the keywords. I really think Amazon should just be able to disperse it more evenly than that, but sometimes it gets stuck and just keeps giving the same keyword the money.
That's a very good tip, actually. Yeah, I mean, otherwise, you're gonna spend the same money with the same keyword doesn't work. Great.
Yep. So just jump in there.
It's amazing how much detail there is, huh?
Yeah, yeah. But I will say at the beginning, it seems like there's a lot more than there actually is. Like the biggest thing, and so many people don't get up to this point, so it's really good that you're already here. But the biggest thing is like just go through these processes of launching a product, of launching ads 1, 2, 3 times, and once you've done that, like you've learned so much, and it's no longer like overwhelming, and there's so many steps, and how am I going to remember all this? If you just go through the process once or twice, it quickly turns into, all right, now I know what I got to do without even feeling like it's a lot of stuff. So
it's like
that'll go away, especially I think dog shaking, especially with the next call after you've been able to let these run for a little bit. You'll really be at a point then where things will make a lot more sense to you.